On the windswept coast of the northeast of England, there's a city where red and white colors represent not just a football club, but an identity, a people. Sunderland, once the pride of English football, but one day everything collapsed. The supporters' voice grew quiet, the stadium fell silent, and Sunderland became lost in the lower leagues of English football. But every collapse awaits a rebirth. This is Sunderland's story of rising from the ashes. Sunderland were one of England's most powerful teams in the 1890s. They called them the team of all talents. 1892, 1893, 1895. Back-to-back league championships ignited the North's passion for football. The 1937 FA Cup triumph turned into a public holiday in England at the time. Sunderland weren't just a football club anymore, they were the pride of the North. Miners, dock workers, factory workers, they all celebrated as if they'd won that cup with their own hands. Because Sunderland was this city's mirror. Humble, hardworking, but tough. But by the end of the 20th century, times had changed. Football was no longer just a game won on the pitch. It had become an industry where economies competed. As England entered the Premier League era, Sunderland were still living the romanticism of the past. The championship that came under Peter Reid in 1996 had created great hope for the club's future. Supporters believed Sunderland would rise to the top of England once again. Roker Park had aged. The city was dreaming of a new home. In 1997, Roker Park closed its doors. Years of sweat, joy, and sorrow remained in those stands, but the city wanted to emerge from the shadow of the past. New address, Stadium of Light. Even its name was a metaphor, a symbol of coming out of the darkness. Sunderland made a promising start as the new face of the Premier League. Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn's unforgettable partnership took the club into European competition. In the 1999 to 2000 season, they'd climbed as high as 7th. Phillips won the Golden Boot that season with 30 goals. In the North, a dream was blossoming again. But the Premier League was now a completely different stage. In the new order where money ruled, survival for clubs like Sunderland was harder than ever. The club frequently changed hands, managers changed, and plans were left incomplete. 2003, 2006, 2017. The relegations that came every few years were a giant, slowly stumbling. Sunderland were still standing, but were now in the shadows. And those shadows were the warning sign of a long period of darkness. The summer of 2017 was a turning point for Sunderland. That season would witness the beginning of a chain of events that would affect the club's fate. And each of these events would drag the club into dark days. When Sam Allardyce moved to the England national team manager position in 2016, David Moyes took his place at the end of the 2016-17 season. David Moyes made a disastrous start to the season with Sunderland, 2 draws and 8 defeats in the first 10 matches. Even though victories came after this start, consistency could never be achieved. The process that started with Moyes ended devastatingly with relegation from the Premier League, and in the summer of 2017, management changed direction again. On the 29th of June 2017, Simon Grayson signed a 3-year deal with the club. Expectations were for Grayson to take the team back to the Premier League, but this promising start soon turned to chaos. Grayson started the 2017-18 season on the 4th of August with a 1-1 draw against Derby County. However, poor results came in succession. A heavy 5-2 defeat against Ipswich on the 26th of September caused the team to get closer to the relegation zone. Sunderland had managed only 1 victory in 15 matches in 2017. This sealed Grayson's fate. At the time, Grayson told 442 that he was late to recognize the effects of the relegation hangover, and that despite the club selling big players throughout the summer, there was no reinvestment. On the 19th of November 2017, Chris Coleman was brought in to replace Grayson. But as Coleman fought with the team he inherited, a problem tied his hands: the transfer budget. Owner Ellis Short announced he was refusing to make additional investment for the winter window. At the time, Coleman's moves focused mainly on loan players: Jake Clark-Salter, on loan from Chelsea, Ovi Ajaria, Liverpool, Lee Camp, Cardiff City, and Ashley Fletcher, Middlesbrough, joined the squad on loan. Permanent signings were very few. The most notable was Kazenga Lualua's free transfer from Brighton. Under these conditions, the team's statistical performance deteriorated. No victory could be achieved for 9 matches. The 21st of April 2018 would go down as a dark day in the club's history. In the match, Sunderland first took the lead 1-0 with Paddy McNair's goal. But Burton Albion equalized the score with Darren Bent's goal in the final 4 minutes of the match, then took the victory with Liam Boyce's goal that came in the 95th minute. Sunderland's equalizing goal during the match was disallowed by the referee. This disallowance was also controversial. With this dramatic loss, and depending on other results, Sunderland suffered back-to-back relegations and dropped to League One. This relegation wasn't just a sporting failure, it became a manifestation of the club's financial, structural, and psychological difficulties. In April 2018, relegation was officially announced. The club made a statement. "We're in a time of uncertainty." Chris Coleman officially apologized to the supporters. "This has been a painful process." On the 29th of April 2018, Coleman's contract was terminated. Ownership changed hands. Ellis Short sold the club to Stuart Donald and Juan Sartori. This relegation wasn't just a change of league status. It was a breaking point where the hope of a fan base, the identity of a club, and the sense of we for a community were questioned. But this darkness would also lay the groundwork for a new beginning. While the dark days continued, a new page was about to open for Sunderland. The club's owner changed. The goal was to prevent such days from recurring. And this change began to be felt not just in the boardroom, but in the spirit on the pitch too. The club's ownership passed to young and visionary names. Kyril Louis-Dreyfus with a 64% stake as chairman, Juan Sartori as partner with 36%. This partnership turned the club's investment model into a sustainable vision based on young players. The club first brought Tony Mowbray into the manager's role. During Mowbray's period, team identity began to be established. Young players were given chances, attacking game ideas were adopted, but football isn't won by long-term strategy alone. Change had to continue, pressure had to increase. In the following months, club management turned to new searches. At times, managerial changes occurred. The chairman wouldn't compromise on his vision, wouldn't continue with a manager he didn't see a future with. The two brightest names in Sunderland's rise, Eliezer Mayenda and Wilson Isidore. Mayenda caught attention in the 2024-25 season with 10 goals and 5 assists in the league. Scoring the equalizer in the playoff final took the team's morale to its peak. Isidore also contributed on the front line with his aggression and goal scoring. The two players became central to Sunderland's team chemistry. Despite some debates, they complemented each other during matches. The city watched this duo's rise with passion. While Sunderland battled in League One, the goal was very clear: to return. During this period, the team gained defensive discipline, young players began taking responsibility. Back-to-back victories rebuilt the team's confidence. In the 2023-24 season, they were promoted to the championship. They accelerated after a quiet start there. The 2024-25 season was the breakthrough season for Sunderland. They reached the playoff zone by collecting 76 points. Consistent good performance, away success, the form graph rising in the final weeks. Everything came together. On the 24th of May 2025, the Sheffield United final played at Wembley was a match that would go down in history for Sunderland. Tom Watson took center stage in the final minutes. His goal in the 95th minute made the return to the Premier League official. In the match, Sunderland fell behind in the 25th minute. The first half finished like that. Although the second half started with pressure, the expected goal hadn't come. Just as supporters' hope was running out, Mayenda came on stage in the 76th minute and equalized the score. In the final minute, Watson's goal completed the comeback and dreams became reality. Sunderland were back in the Premier League. This goal wasn't just the result of a match. It was like the scientific code of the club's rebirth. And so, Sunderland ended the absence that had lasted since 2017 and started the 2025-26 season in the Premier League. The targets were clear: stay in the league, rebuild the structure, achieve sustainable success. Manager Regis Labrie was directing the team with a vision built on young players' development, playing style, data analytics, and tactical depth. One of the names still carrying the team's burden was young striker Eliezer Mayenda. In the 2024-25 season, he'd made history by scoring the equalizer in the championship playoff match. Afterwards, he signed a new contract until 2030. Beside him was Wilson Isidore, who'd also played a key role in the club's rise, a name who shared the goal-scoring burden, constantly present on the pitch. But not just these two. The club strengthened its squad with new faces during the summer transfer window. For example, Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal and Leverkusen player, despite having turned 30, would lead the midfield with his experience. Simon Adingra, a 23-year-old winger arriving from Brighton, brought a new dynamic to Sunderland's attack with his Premier League experience. Habib Diarra, a young and talented midfielder transferred from Strasbourg, became part of the club's long-term project. Noah Siddiqui, a 20-year-old midfielder coming from Belgium's Union Saint-Gilloise, joined the squad. Additionally, reinforcements for the backline included names like Omar Alderete and Arthur Masuaku, with genuine Premier League experience. These transfers were very important, because in the process stretching from League One to the Premier League, it wasn't just about going up, but also staying up. With Mayenda and Isidore taking the goal-scoring load, an experienced head like Xhaka directing the game in midfield, the arrival of young dynamic players like Adingra, and the reinforcements to the defensive line, the team was rebuilding its identity. Lebre's tactical understanding united with these moves, raising the tempo, bringing energy onto the pitch with youngsters, creating a common language on the pitch. In this way, Sunderland didn't just return, they were now taking steps to be permanent. And the first reflections of these steps on the pitch had begun to be seen right at the start of the season. Sunderland's rebirth story was written with a hope that blossomed through periods of chaos and struggle. The spark didn't ignite just with a goal or transfer. It grew with the sum of every small decision, bold step, chance given to young talent. And now, the journey back to the light has begun. The darkness is now left behind. With the return to the Premier League, the question everyone wondered was, will this story be permanent? The answer was clear, yes. Sunderland lost only twice in their first 9 matches. The 2-1 victory away at Chelsea was a message to the entire country. We're back. Régis Lebre's modern playing approach combined with disciplined defense and quick transitions. This team weren't just running anymore, they were fighting with belief. Sunderland's rebirth won't be easy, of course. Financial gaps, the ruthless nature of the competition, make every season a test. But the city hasn't forgotten the lessons of the past anymore. Stadium of Light is being modernized, infrastructure is being restructured. Investment in young talent is increasing, because Sunderland know that without sustainability, no success is permanent. Sunderland today aren't just a football club, they're a symbol of resilience, a story of being lost, getting back up, believing again. A city once buried in darkness, now walking towards the light. The night lasted long for Sunderland, but every night has its morning, and this morning rose red and white. What do you think? Can Sunderland stay in the Premier League and return to their old glory? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.